I get it right. And no
Yeah.
one believe me when I say
Are you
I
gonna
don't know how
try
to
again?
make kisra, because what kind of a South Sudanese girl doesn't know how to make kisra at this age?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Those are the kind of responsibilities
Yeah,
that I
okay.
was saying before. So
Yeah.
because I was younger, people older than me were taking on these responsibilities. And so I had duties such as fetching water, cleaning the compound, making tea for the visitors, because Sudanese household, like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have visitors all the time.
What's the Sudanese word for tea? Which is my favorite. Yeah, chai.
It's chai.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just chai.
I think that's
Yeah.
you said last time that was in Arabic.
It's Arabic.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Arabic. So I had those were my I had easy things, and then because I left for Kenya.
So you left at the age of 11.
11, 12.
Yeah.
And when I came to Kenya, things were different, because in Kenya, where I came, we had so my sisters were there, so I moved to come and stay with my sister in Kenya.
And your older sister?
They're all older.
Yeah.
I'm the last born in the family.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So one of them was married, had a house in Kenya, and she took my other sister with her when she got married, in the 90s. So I joined them to stay with them in Kenya, and it was a different country, different culture, different sort of responsibility. So that's when I stepped up my game.
Was the language
in terms of
completely
learning.
different as well compared to what you grew up?
So Kenyan speak Kiswahili.
Yeah.
So I had to learn Kiswahili because I had to go to school there, and also, and also to communicate with my.
Was it hard to learn
kids.
after learning?
When
Dinka
you're young, Dinka, because Dinka was my first language.
Yeah, but was it hard learning Dinka for 12 years and having to learn Swahili?
Nah, it wasn't hard, because when you're young, you just pick up languages very quickly, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even remember how I learned Kiswahili. I think it just happened. Within 3 months, I was already being sent to the shops.
Is it much different from Dinka?
Yeah. It's kind of similar to Arabic.
Okay.
Yeah, Kiswahili. I think Kiswahili is actually made out of Arabic.
Do you know if anyone's teaching that here? If I wanted to learn it, is there any schools?
I'm pretty sure there is, because there's a school of languages here. I think I've seen before that Arabic is taught here.
I did Arabic classes for a while, but
Swahili. If you look up Swahili, I think there will be someone teaching it, because these days everybody's teaching something.
Yeah.
So I would love to actually go back and learn, because I've been away. I left Kenya.
If you were to go back to Kenya now, would you be able to speak it or understand it?
Yeah. I'm still connected. I'm very, because as you can see, I was in Kenya at that age of 12. So obviously, it's still home. It's home to me.
Yeah.
So really, wherever I go, I am still watching Kenyan comedy, because I love comedy. I'm still watching Kenyan TV shows. I'm still.
What are Kenyans known for? I know they're really fast.
They are. That's it.
Long distance.
They're known for it's a beautiful country. Yeah. Beautiful people.
Where's Kisra from? Because Kisra we were talking about before. Is that a Sudanese dish, or was that a Kenyan?
It's a Sudanese dish.
What's a Kenyan dish?
Oh, well, there's no such a thing as a Kenyan dish. There are dishes for Kenyan. There's a lot. So.
What were you eating when you were there?
A lot of things. So there's
because I've never been.
There's sukuma wiki, which is it's kind of like Chinese broccoli.
Yeah.
It's eaten a lot in Kenya. They eat a lot of greens. They have their own, because Kenya is a country with so many tribes, just like South Sudan. So we don't have a national dish in South Sudan, right?
Yeah,
and therefore, it's similar to Kenya. I don't think there's such a thing as a national dish, because there's so many tribes, and when there's so many tribes, every tribe have their own national dish. Their own.
What was your favorite dish
for Kenya or South Sudan?
Let's go with Kenya for now, because that's where we are in Kenya.
There's for Kenya, I like everything about Kenyan's dishes, but I like chapati a lot. Chapati is also now it's big in Indian. Indians cooking as well. So chapati is hard to make. That's another dish I struggle to. It's either I get the taste right and not the shape, or I get the shape right and not the taste. But I love chapati. So I don't know if you've had one before, but
nah, probably.
Yeah. It's a very simple recipe. It's just, plain flour, water, a bit of oil, salt, a bit of sugar.
That's good. And before you got to Kenya, you had responsibilities in Sudan. Was that changed when you got there? Was it a bit easier because you were living with your sisters now, or was it kind of the same? You were expected to do certain things as a female.
I think because in South Sudan I was just a kid,
Yeah.
so I was doing the thing that I could manage, right?
Yeah.
But I knew my responsibilities would add up the older I get.
Yeah.
But when I came to
When
Kenya,
you say you knew, is it because it's just you did not even talk about it? It's just you just know from like how
I
the
just
community
know because
works.
that's just a culture. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a culture that as a girl I have to learn to. There's so many things I need to learn before I
Yeah.
get married one day. So
Yeah,
I will have
right.
to learn to cook. I have to be responsible. I have to know how to do this and
When
do
did
that.
you know that that was the case? Was it seeing people around you, or was it like were you getting told this constantly, or you just kind of like
Yeah.
how does that
So, because that's the culture I was growing up in. Everybody, you can see how things
Yeah,
are
yeah.
moving, right? So I can see the way my older cousins are being told to do
Yeah,
this and do
yeah.
that. I can see the comments my mom would make, and comments like for example, she would say, "Oh, a girl must know how to do this and do that. A girl must cook like really well."
Yeah.
So I knew that culturally you're prepared to be as great as possible as a woman because you're the backbone of the family, and so you have to learn to be responsible. You have to rely on yourself and know what to do and how to hustle and how to hold a family together. So you're being trained from very early age, and that's why in our culture a girl doesn't just sit down. You can't just sit down and rest
Yeah,
for
yeah.
what? You have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. You come back from school, put your bag down and pick up that thing, go and bring you water.
So
go to the shops,
tell me what
do
is it
this.
like? So as for say 12 years old, right? You're going to school. What is it? What's a day in life for a 12-year-old girl, either in Sudan or Kenya?
Things I cannot.
Or not, but just for you specifically, because you're
now-
saying that like you're coming from
Yeah.
school, you've got other
Yeah.
things to do. But what it would look like for you? What was it like for you when you were going to school and coming back home? What was then expected of you?
Because I know what I'm supposed to do from when I wake up in the morning to when I go to bed at
So
night.
what
That's
was
a
your
routine,
give us a
right?
day in
So-
life? So you would wake up.
So basically, so I would wake up, prepare, go to school, and then come back home, and depend on what's on that day. So if I come back home and I'm told, okay, cool, so we ran out of water, go and get water, or I just come
And how
back
far
home
was
and they
to
will
go
say-
get water?
It wasn't that far.
Yeah.
it wasn't that far.
Was it fun? Was that what was your fun?
It was fun. It was
chore?
fun. Everything was, to be honest, everything I did when I was in South Sudan was fun.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was fun because I did it with my friends. It was
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
because it was just something we all
What
do.
was your funnest? What was the funnest chore that you and your friends enjoyed? Was it fetching water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then we go and play the games.
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
So
Well,
while you're waiting
did
in
they
the
have
queue,
expected time? Like, hey, I know the water is this far away,
Yeah.
and did they know exactly?
Yeah, exactly. So mom knows. Like the sad part is she can, because she's quite tall. So when she's standing in our compound, she
Yeah.
can see us from where we're getting the water.
And what would
from.
she
So
see if she
knows.
could see you guys? Was it?
Yeah, she knows what we're doing. But when I come back home and be like, oh, the queue was really long, she'd be like, no, there was no queue. I saw you and so playing and doing that. So she knew, like.